This is E. Matthews Jet, and today we're going to do a short review on my Tucano. This Tucano is made by Phoenix Models, and the plane is an ARF, but it's an ARF with a lot of upgrades that I did to the plane. I did some changes to it. Okay? I have it sitting on top of my welding machine. That's my welding table. I weld, so I keep a piece of plywood on top of the welding table, and I put my airplanes on them to work on them, to clean them, just to keep them maintained. This is an awesome airplane to fly. This is a Brazilian aircraft. I added the American stickers because even though it's a Brazilian plane, and this plane has been sold throughout the world. Even the United States, they bought these airplanes, so they got them in service right now. So, but I added the U.S. Air Force stickers on my own. They did not come with the model. It came with all the Brazilian stickers that I didn't want to use. It's an excellent flying airplane. This thing is awesome. This plane is built to use like an OS-46, but when I flew the plane with the OS-46, I felt the plane underpowered. So I added a new OS and I put the OS-55. And the OS-55 is the OS-55AX ABL. I don't know what the ABL is, but it is. The plane without the muffler is 14.3 ounces, and with the muffler is 18.5 ounces. And the motor is turning on idle as 2,000 RPM, and on high throttle is turning at 17,000 RPM. It's an awesome motor. So now with this motor, the plane is flying the way it's supposed to fly. Even though the plane says that it's for a 46 size engine, it's a little bit under power. Okay, the plane was pretty much dragging through the air. And I added a tune pipe. And if you see the hole where the tune pipe comes through, it's cut perfectly, no sloppy cuts. When I do engine, when I'm building, I make sure that everything's cut mint. You see that slot is for the carb. I had to cut into the cowling. I did not want to cut into the cowling, but I had to. I had no choice in it. It came with a plastic spinner, and I put an aluminum spinner. The wingspan is 63 inches, and the fuselage length is 55 inches. Maybe a little bit more. Maybe it's like 55 and a half. Even though it's a small plane, but it's not that small, it's a big plane. It's actually a pretty big damn airplane. I fly planes bigger than this because I fly all types of sizes. That's my P-47 Thunderbolt. That's a top flight plane. It's got an OS 120 in it. This thing is awesome. It's covered up with a plastic. You gotta see this thing. I keep it covered because I'm always cutting balsa wood in the house and I'm sanding, and I don't want everything to get dirty, so I keep it covered. The plastic on the wing, one night I needed it for a different project, so I pulled the plastic off the wing and I used it for the project I'm doing. It's got Glennis struts and roll bar retracts on it. Those are spring air retracts, not electrical. I personally don't like electrical retracts, even though I do have them on other planes. That's my L-39 jet. My intruder. This is my biggest airplane in the back. That thing is huge. The wing goes all the way up to the ceiling. Gibson Les Paul. I play guitar. I'm not like a real professional guy, but I know how to play a guitar. I can hold a fucking tune. That's another Tucano. And then back there I got the PC-21 Polaris. And I got my Super Cub and my Super Chipmunk. Actually my Piper Cub and Super Chipmunk. And back there, the other wing that you see white with the red, that's a Super Cub. That uses the OS 70. Having a cold beer. My friend gave me a little bottle of brandy, so I'm taking a couple of shots of brandy. My Craftsman toolbox. Okay, so back to the plane. The plane is awesome. Tucano is an awesome plane. I fell in love with this plane the moment I saw it for the first time. I like this style of airplane, because I like Cessnas and Extra 300s and, Cap 232s. They're all great, but nothing flies better than this. This is it. You need to fly one of these airplanes. The takeoff, the landing, and you can do a lot of stuff with this plane. This is a trainer to train pilots to fly jets. That's what Brazil was using this for. They were training all their trainer pilots to fly all their military jets. The plane became so famous that every other country started buying them, including the United States. And then the United States eventually made their own. I'm going to remove the back. This is like hard always to remove. I got it. There's the receiver. A lot of people wrap up their receivers. I don't. I just stick it to the plane. I never had a problem. They said, "Oh, the receiver vibrate. The plane's gonna go out of control." I never had that problem. That's all bullshit. This is where I slide in my battery pack. I slide it in and I lock it down with one of those zip strip tie strips. There goes my tank. I got my tank tied down with a zip strip. And if I need to remove the tank, I got it bolted. They tell you to glue this. Never glue that. Just bolt it down. I like all my wires, wired, twisted. I turn them on a screwdriver, and when you take out the screwdriver, they look like that. I don't like my cables all fucking loose, looking wild. That looks like bullshit work. When I built this plane, I had a problem with your elevator because it has two rods into one, and the piece that they give you is threaded bullshit. So I had to make my own piece. If you look if you look real good, the original pieces that in there, I made my own. I had to do a lot of shit to make it work. Because if you put it together the way it comes out of the box, it's gonna slide and the plane's gonna crash. I make sure that's completely locked down, that I have no problems with the elevator going up or down. You know, it took a lot to make it work. You see, there's like a lot of shit working at the same time, but that's what you need. If you just built it the way the blueprint says, forget it. You're gonna lose your plane. Trust me on this. I've been building planes for years. On this plane, I could have put retracts if I wanted, but I just wanted a plane to fuck around with. I didn't want a plane that had to pump air into the bottle. I got actually a lot of airplanes with retracts. I didn't want to do that with this one. I wanted a plane that I could bring to the field and put in a battery, put fuel in it, and turn it on and just take off. I didn't want a high maintenance plane. I wanted something simple, something that I could take to the field. That it's a good plane. It flies good. It's got a good motor, good remote, and I just didn't have to worry about retracts if they all come down or not. But it's a real nice plane. I'm happy with it. It's a good flying airplane. It's a mint condition. I have the plane for about 3 years already. It's never been crashed. It doesn't even have wing scuffles, nothing. It takes off, it does its flight, and it comes right in and right back to the house. I've been flying for many, many years, and in all my years of flight time, I have had 3 crashes, and I never crashed again. It's a beautiful airplane, man. This is a real nice plane. I like the wood, the way it's cut out. That's laser cut. Real nice. But when you get the plane, you have to re-glue a lot of stuff because a lot of stuff is loose. You got to go through it. I went through the plane and I found a lot of shit that wasn't glued right. So I went over it. I went over the firewall mount for the engine. I went over everything. I went over the whole plane. Don't just build it out of the box the way they tell you. You know, if you've been flying for a long time, you're gonna find a lot of shit in the plane that you're gonna say, no, that's not good, and I need to fix that. So that's it. This is an awesome airplane, man. I love it. And what I like about it that it's not a real big plane. It's not a small plane, but it's not a real big plane either. So you're taking out a real nice airplane when you come out to the field. And the engine is glow. It's not electric. You know, I have electric jets. I got a couple of electric planes, even though I like them, but I'm not a fan of them. I like 2 cycles, 4 cycles, and gas engines. Those are my engines if I'm gonna be in the hobby of airplanes. Because everybody today, a lot of people are flying electrics. So I said, fuck it, why not? Let me try it out, see what the big deal's all about. Even though it's nice to fly electric, but what I don't like about electric is the batteries. They cause a fire in the house. So when I charge batteries, I take the charger and everything outside. So if the battery decides to fucking blow up, I let it blow up in front of the house and not inside the apartment. Well, I burn the fucking place down and all my airplanes and all my shit is gone. It comes with an aluminum landing gear. Real nice plane. That's it. This is my Cano. Today's Friday night. I don't even know what day it is. I got home from work. And I started wiping the plane down, taking the dust off because I sand balsa wood. And everything in this place gets all dusted, so I gotta be on top of it. A lot of my planes I cover with plastics because I can't just wipe every fucking thing down. You know, I guess to the point you gotta throw plastic wherever you can throw plastic. So I'm constantly going to Home Depot or Lowe's to pick up the plastic that you put over your furnitures when you're gonna paint the house or your apartment. So I gotta keep everything covered, like that I can keep all my shit clean. Real nice plane. And that's my HPI Baja. That's not the Motion RC or the Monster, whatever the fuck they call it, that clone. This is the real deal. That is a professional miniature race off-road buggy. It's got aluminum rims. It's got all the bells and whistles on that fucking thing. Okay, this is E. Matthews Jet signing out on your next video. I'm glad you saw my videos. Enjoy them. Give me thumbs up. You know, and I'm going to put a lot of more videos out. I got home from work and I'm tired. I'm completely exhausted from work. I'm like wore down. So I was dying to come home and just relax, drink a cold beer and lay back. E. Matthews Jet. Take care, my brothers. See you on the next one.